Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Back here with another Just Quarantine Things podcast. We're back again with El. How you doing?
Hello.
And Mr. Callum. How
I'm
you
good. How
doing?
are you, Jabba?
I'm good. I'm good. How are
Oh,
you,
I'm
Cal?
good. I'm good.
Lovely to have you both back. Now, today I thought we'd discuss. Well, as we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and out of all of this, a lot of conspiracy theories have been floating about. Now, I went on to our website, just typed in conspiracy theories, and the first couple of things that came up were titles such as "The Nazis came from Middle Earth," "The Moon landing was a hoax," 9/11 was an inside job, as always, "A global
Yeah, classic
government
ones.
is waiting for us in the wings." But I thought on a more topical note, there's been a lot of stuff floating around about the coronavirus. I know you said you know a bit about this, El. So
Mm.
if you want to take us away.
So there's a very well, we'll get to how ridiculous it is in a bit, but there's an opinion amongst some people that
Right.
coronavirus isn't. It sounds so stupid saying it, but this is their argument. They don't think that coronavirus is a real thing.
Right.
They think that everything that's going on at the moment is due to two parts mainly. First part is effects from 5G,
Yeah, I've
the
I've
sort of
heard a
new
lot. There's been a lot of stuff about the
cellular
5G.
network. Yeah, and then going sort of hand in hand in that is sort of attempts at increased state control. Um, so I think the main guy sort of peddling this argument is a guy called Eric Ike.
Right.
Don't know if you've heard of him. His
No.
video. So he did an interview with an organisation called London Real, which are sort of an organisation that some of their stuff's all right, but a lot of their sort of kind of they sort of do the odd rogue thing here and there where they'll bring in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
conspiracy theories. So he did an interview with them, explaining about. I watched the interview because it was quite funny to watch this guy, and he was saying how he believes that 5G.
Yeah.
First of all, coronavirus isn't COVID-19
Isn't
isn't
a real
real.
thing. Yeah.
Isn't a real thing. He says it's sort of a smokescreen for two things. First of all, introducing 5G and
Right.
going with that. Like I said, increased state control. So he was explaining about how apparently if you're hit with 60 gigahertz of 5G,
Yeah.
it basically stops oxygen binding to the blood, so it basically the gas exchange
Oh, so
interface in the lungs stops working.
he's got it. He's gone into a lot of detail of trying to explain. Now, what I've heard is that 60 gigahertz provides symptoms such as the coronavirus like symptoms, which is why people
Yeah, so
have been
yeah,
saying that it's all 5G, because I think he started it and then a bunch
uh,
of Facebook and media influencers got on the back of it, and obviously they've got
yeah,
getting tens of thousands of views of people. And then there was a petition started. I don't know if you heard about Amanda Holden, but she like retweeted something for this
oh yeah, I
sort
saw
of,
that.
yeah, anti 5G petition, get all the masks shut down. And then there's been, I think, mainly across the US, but some in the UK, there's been sort of 5G tower masts being burnt down. And
Yeah, there was some in Liverpool and Birmingham. Um,
actually,
I know
yes.
there's a couple of masts burnt down there. But 5G works. It's very different to how 4G works. So
Okay.
5G is very because it's a millimeter wavelength. It's only got a very very short range on it before you sort of lose the signal. Unlike 4G and the sort of 2G, 3G, the older stuff,
Yeah.
it really really struggles to get through buildings and things. So essentially, what you have to do is with 5G is put sort of mini aerials on like telegraph posts, on traffic lights. Um, so one street would have to have like 4 or 5 of these things. You can't just sort of stick a 5G mast in the middle of a city like they can do with 4G.
But it sounds like they're trying to spy on us to me.
So sorry, yeah, I'm just trying to understand. So he said that all the coronavirus doesn't actually exist, and it's a
Yeah,
made up kind of it's a made up disease, and
yeah,
what's actually causing these deaths is 5G.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then why are they wanting to introduce 5G? Like, what's the what they're covering up? Like, what is the purpose behind introducing 5G?
So there's, yeah, I know it's so ridiculous, isn't it? But he came up with a
No,
few reasons.
I'm just trying to get like what his angle is.
Well, I think
Oh,
Are they just trying to kill people, or
so Eric Ike's overall sort of theory for everything he comes out with is basically that there's a secret cult that's controlling the world, sort of behind the scenes in governments. Governments are puppets. Their end goal is to get everyone hooked up to artificial intelligence, and basically, if everyone's on artificial intelligence, they then can control that intelligence and control the world's population. And he thinks that 5G is
quite
a stepping
extreme.
stone for that, because for everyone to be linked up to artificial intelligence, you need sort of constant access to a really strong sort of source of internet,
Right,
which
yeah.
5G gives you. Like people that have got 5G phones, I've seen on. There's a guy called Marcus Brownlee on YouTube. Don't know if you've heard of him. He does like really good tech videos and stuff, and he bought a 5G enabled Samsung phone and sort of tried it out in Chicago, because Chicago have got 5G now. And he did like a speed test, and his speed clock just was unbelievable. It was like he said he was in the thousands of Mbps compared to like 4G, which is sort of like 80, 90.
So his speed was, his internet speed basically was much greater.
Yeah, he said that 5G was 6 times the speed of his household
But I
fiber
mean,
optic
it
Wi-Fi.
still doesn't. Why is that giving us coronavirus?
Oh, I see. So back to the coronavirus thing. So his Eric Ike's thing is basically they want all this 5G so then they can then control us in the future. And the reason for the lockdown is to get us all inside as they put up all of these 5G masts without us knowing about it.
Okay.
And he was saying about how one of the sort of benefits to this cult of putting everyone in isolation gets them used to increased state control.
I guess so
that was part of it. Another part was the fact that apparently Wuhan, where coronavirus comes from, apparently that was the first place in the world to turn their 5G on.
So then it must be true then. It must be true.
Well, exactly. But the fact that fact that you're getting coronavirus, exactly. The fact you're getting coronavirus cases in places that don't have any type of 4G network, 5G network at all, kind of just is just further proof that he's just, I don't know, he's gone a bit of a mad one.
Yeah, and also if their plan is to eventually control the world population, it's not this 5G clearly isn't a very good way of doing that. Then if it's killing people, like inadvertently, because then they're just going to kill everyone.
Yeah. Well, in his opinion, the cult is very much like they don't care. Apparently, this bunch is the way he portrays them is a bunch of like ultra psychopaths that don't care about the fact that 5G is killing people. All their end goal is get all this 5G up, and then when artificial intelligence really kicks off in the next 30, 40 years, it's ready for them to then sort of take control of us all.
I think it's,
his video.
And who are these people? Who is this cult?
Oh, he doesn't. He just calls them the cult that control the world.
Oh, okay.
There's no name to them. But so the interview that he did with London Real, where he sort of explained all of this, it was taken off YouTube. He then put it on, is it Vimeo? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. They then took it down off there, and at the moment, well, I don't know if it's still on, but when I watched it, it was on there was a link to a sort of a video sharing website called BitChute or something like that. I don't know whether it's been taken down off that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's just
a bit. It sort of shows nowadays how far conspiracy theories can kind of, I guess, roam the internet, and because I know a lot of people, Huawei was a big backer for 5G, and they obviously the conspiracy theories around the Chinese government, they're trying to hack everyone's phones and all this. I guess
that's a separate thing entirely, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's sort of
more,
just
there's more merit to that one.
There's more merit to it, but it's sort of like it gets ingrained in people's minds that this company's linked to it. I mean, because we know, but we don't know that if you know what I mean about this sort of like cult idea. There's always like I guess a niggling thought in the back of your mind. Maybe it could be true. I think the reality is, the likelihood is it's not true, but the fact that you don't know kind of, I guess, will drive some people forward to thinking, this could be true, which is why I guess it ended up with 100, I think it was 110,000 signatures for this sort of anti-5G mass. Yeah. Talking of conspiracies, I don't know if you guys saw Good Morning Britain, but Chris Tarrant, who's the ex-host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the new series. Have you guys seen the new series? Actually, yeah. I think it's with Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah.
I'm quite a fan of it. There was a question asked yesterday. I remember. Did you guys see yesterday's?
No.
Is it the celebrity one?
Yeah.
James?
Yeah. Hello, sorry.
Was it the celebrity special?
Yeah, it was the celebrity special.
I saw a bit of it.
Yeah, with Richard Osman on that. I thought he was going to do a bit better. I can't lie, but being the quiz master.
That guy's supposed to be a genius, isn't he? The guy.
Yeah. I think he made it to about 64,000. So fair play to him. But it's when you see someone like that, you're like, oh, he's one of them who could definitely go all the way, but unfortunately not. So yeah, I was saying, Chris Tarrant, the guy who's the ex-host, has come out and said he believes that the coronavirus didn't start from a bat, and from a bat in Wuhan, and it's just sort of like shows that someone, like, if someone has an opinion, if they're a known person who has an opinion, sort of well-known, I guess, scientific theory that's where it originated. If someone just comes out and just be like, well, I think this, no proof behind it, all of a sudden there are thousands of people saying, well, actually, maybe this guy's got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he link it to 5G, or I know there's another argument?
No, I think
China's got a sort of military weapons factory near Wuhan.
He was just sort of on Good Morning Britain, just said, yeah, I just don't think it's true. Pretty much. Just I don't think it's true. Yeah,
I've just been looking into this David Icke guy a bit more. I'm just on his Wikipedia page.
Oh, David Icke, not Eric Icke.
Apparently, he also believes that there are reptile people.
There are reptile people?
Yeah.
Okay.
That there were reptile human breeding programs that took place 200,000 years ago.
Right.
And they basically created a secret race of reptile people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones controlling everything.
Oh, they control the world?
Okay. Yeah. And he believes that the British royal family are shape-shifting lizards.
Shape-shifting lizard? Wow. I mean...
Yeah, so... I think that's the standard of conspiracy theories we're at with David.
just imagine Prince Charles there, just sort of like... shifting into this really old lizard.
I think I was saying Eric Icke. I think I was saying the guy of Life of Brian, not David Icke. It's David Icke,
Oh,
just to clear things up. Not the guy of Life of Brian. Monty Python guy.
that makes sense. But yeah, I guess since we've last talked, guys, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. As much changed? I'm guessing no. But how have you been faring since we last talked?
Yeah, not bad. PS4 again.
PS4 standard.
Chilling. It's just, I don't know. The days are just sort of blending
They do
into
just
each
kind
other
of.
now.
We've been playing a bit of poker, haven't we? Al? And
Yeah, that's been good.
it's been good fun. I've not.
Wasn't so good last night for either of us, though, was it?
No,
you went out
was it?
first. I went out.
I was out first for the second time in a row. Disappointing performance.
It was very funny, to be fair.
I was not too pleased.
No, you weren't.
But yeah, I guess it's always next week. Bad, or if you get a bad beat, that's what I'll put it down to. Bad beat. I'll have about 5 bad beats in a row. But
Back with a bang next week.
Back with a bang next week. Let's hope so. I mean, yeah. But yeah, very enjoyable. But I see another country who's seemed to be taking full force with the coronavirus. I've just seen that Taiwan have restarted up their baseball league, and in the stadium they've filled the crowds with mannequins just to give themselves a bit of an atmosphere in the crowd, and
No way.
so they filled this crowd with mannequins, and then so they're like cardboard cutouts and actual like dolls and stuff, and these cardboard cutouts all have like masks and stuff on them. So I wonder that they probably have like speakers and stuff of like people chanting.
That's crazy.
But
to be fair, I've heard that they've controlled it quite well. Like
in Taiwan.
Cases.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But I mean, I guess
Singapore's supposed to have done all right as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
I suppose it's easy if you're. I suppose it's easy to control if you're a rich country with a small population.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why probably we've done so poorly, is we're sort of so densely populated.
Yeah.
That if it comes into like say it came into London, it's gonna spread it like across. Because I think around London's obviously where it's mostly, but if you see the deaths, it's pretty much the majority of it is London. I think we're sadly up to like sort of 11,000 now. And
well, yeah, and the problem is as well because you've got all those kind of satellite suburbs around London. People going to work in London, where obviously it's spreading a lot because there's a lot of close contact. You've got the tube, you've got busy streets, all of that. And then they bring it back to like Croydon or Bromley or Watford or wherever.
Well, I think Croydon was actually one of the highest. Had like one of the highest number of cases for it. But yeah, I mean, I was working a couple of weeks before this whole lockdown thing, and I was going into work on the tube every day, and I was just like, I think the worst line for it is a central line, because when you go on there, it's just everyone, you're literally like breathing on top of people. It's just no wonder it got spread everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually, going on from your story last week, Cal, about that guy who was speeding, I've actually got a story of the same esque. There was a guy who again was caught speeding on the motorway by a policeman, and he was stopped, and the same esque asked why he was speeding, and the guy said that he found that during the coronavirus pandemic, he was from Nottingham and he was driving to London. He found that a loaf of bread in London was £1 cheaper than it was in Nottingham. So he was making
Really?
over 100 miles trip to try and get a loaf of bread for £1 cheaper.
What?
So he was there
Is that
speeding
all he
down.
was buying then? Was he just buying a loaf of bread?
I mean,
Because
the thing,
like
yeah.
he can't be so dense that like it's going to cost him money.
Well, so that's what I was thinking. To for the petrol costs and everything. Unless he's done his sort of like cost saving sheet and found that if he buys 7 loaves of bread. You know.
Yeah, if he does like a really big shop, then maybe he can make a saving. But at that point, is it even worth it?
But then I guess you'd have to
well.
you'd have to freeze the bread, but like, a loaf of bread goes off in like a week, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know what are you gonna do?
And also, he's going into the danger zone. Do you know what I mean? He's driving straight to the heart of darkness.
Yeah, it's like well, yeah. Why would you want to go towards it? I guess a lot of people at the moment are still. I think it's calmed down with everyone going outside, but there are still some people who think, "Oh, it's not going to affect me." They're just going to take all the liberties they want.
Yep. It's like what we saw over the weekend with people going out for the Easter bank holiday, and
yeah,
apparently the motorways in some places had caravans on them.
Yeah, it's
crazy
just
stuff.
ridiculous the amount of people that.
Yeah, people
are
just not
trying to go
listening.
out. But yeah.
I don't think it helps that like the weather is so nice at the moment.
No, it is,
And we don't normally have nice weather. I think people are like, "Oh, I've got to take advantage of this. I've got to." But it's like the more everyone stays inside, the sooner this will be over, and the more we can go outside in the summer when the weather might be really nice. So.
Yeah, I mean, it is such a shame that there is, you know, such nice weather, because as the days go on, the more and more you think like, oh, I just want to be at the pub. You sort of miss, you miss the things you didn't even realise. Like you also like, I guess you missed actually looking forward to having something. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So say at the weekend, if you've got like the pub coming up for the whole week, and just be like, well, you know, I've got something else coming up at the weekend. Whereas now everything's just like a big old blur of, you know, I guess days of Netflix, days of PlayStation, days of the exact same walk around Lloyd Park. That's what we do. That's what me and my parents come to. It's like every time we go out for a walk, we'll come to the same place. Like, right, today we'll turn left, and then the next day we'll turn right, just to you know, just to change things up. But yeah, I mean, we've had Easter recently. I mean, did you boys get up to much? I mean, there's not much you can really get up to, but yeah, anything exciting happen over your Easter holiday weekend?
It's my first Easter without an Easter egg. Gutted.
No way.
So yeah. I did treat myself. I made myself a chicken in Nando's.
Oh, you did one. Oh,
that was really nice.
You are the mastermind behind that. You got that was one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given. Do a whole chicken in the oven. It's about 180 degrees. Peri rub. Oh, sorts you out for days.
Lasts you like a day and a half. Amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. It can last for quite a while, because you can either like how would you like, how do you attempt it? Because the way I did it, I broke it up into meals, but I could also easily be like a grazer. So you have one meal and then just come back during the next couple of days and just sort of just graze off of this chicken.
Return to the chicken bush, the
chicken tree.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been, you know, it's quarantine time. I haven't been particularly delicate about it. I literally just had the whole chicken on the plate.
Yeah, the whole
got
chicken.
To work.
Nothing on the side. Just got to work with this chicken.
I did myself some chips with peri salt as well.
Oh, just going for the whole Nando's theme.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, this is great. And I was thinking,
why
it would be nice to kind of. I think it would be nice to do like restaurant themes, because I did feel like I was a bit like I was in Nando's.
Yeah.
So I could do something similar with, like, I don't know, you know, Wagamama's or McDonald's.
Oh yeah. Make your own McDonald's, or make your own.
Yeah.
But then I guess what with like McDonald's, I guess you could just have, I don't know, chicken nuggets and chips. The only thing that I guess would differentiate and make it into McDonald's is if you had like the packaging and stuff, which, I mean, if you can be asked to go to do the effort of making it, but otherwise you're just left with chicken nuggets and chips.
Yeah, I suppose McDonald's isn't really that standout in terms of the actual food itself.
No,
Um,
yeah, it's weird because there is like a definite Mackey's taste, if you know what I mean. Just a lot
I think it's the salt.
a lot of salt, yeah, a lot of salt.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the majority of times I have Mackey's nowadays is after a night out, so that's absolutely wonderful.
It's got to be done, to be fair.
Yeah, it's got to be done. I mean, yeah, you're a man who loves this guy Al makes us after a night out. We'll trek. We will trek. Like what is it, like a 15-20 minute walk at least to go and get a Mackey's. People stumbling
It's worth
across
the walk
roads.
in the end, though.
It's the longest one when we walk there and then someone comes up with a bright idea of walking back home instead of getting a cab. What a because then
To be fair, I always back a cab. I never want to walk. I always back a cab.
To be fair, the advantage of the walk is, like, at the time you think, oh, this is horrible, like, why are we walking? I'm cold and tired. But then in the morning, it's this nice feeling of knowing that you didn't spend that money.
yeah, that's true.
It's like, I went through that pain then so that I could,
so that I can make up.
Could benefit.
Yeah, I mean, well, because I actually can't, like, I struggle to eat and walk. Just like, I just chips I can do, but like nuggets, nuggets are just a pain to eat and walk. I mean, I guess depending on the level of
digestion if you're not careful.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got quite a spring in my step when I walk, so you know
Exactly.
bouncing up and down. Whereas I guess you've got a very good posture, so you're literally you're just hovering. You're just hovering. You just hover across the floor. You don't even move.
Dav and Sal were talking about my posture.
It's a very good posture.
Week.
I think everyone needs to.
I never even noticed it until people like commented on it in Buddha.
Yeah, well, it's very straight. Even now, when I'm sitting here, I'm sort of hunched over, sitting straighten up myself. But no, I mean, when do you think the next night out will be? I guess. I mean, with
ages. I think, to be honest.
What would be if you had to pick a night out to go back to? Say next week. It can't happen, but what would you pick? What would be your go-to?
It's got to be Crisis.
When this is all over.
Got to be Crisis.
See, I go Crisis, but I'm gonna take you up a notch and go Cirque.
Oh,
I know it won't be possible, but
I see what you mean. Sorry.
Pick,
yeah, it depends who would be playing at your Cirque.
Okay.
Yeah, Cirque is sick, to be fair.
Cirque's the one. Did you ever manage to make it to a Cirque, Cal?
Yeah, I did. I think in third year.
Mm.
You came to the one with us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
But I think personally, like, I would honestly think I'd pick like an all day like pub sesh over like
an
a
all day pub
sesh at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd just be something, just something like nice and like a return to kind of the normal.
I think the first, I guess, pub sesh after this, everyone would just sort of be so almost just relieved and just happy to be at the pub. If you know what I mean.
Exactly. I can just imagine everyone just being so like nice and happy.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be like a really nice atmosphere.
Even just.
I think that's what I'd go with.
I feel like there'll also be a general, not even just with say like the group you're with, but everyone else that's out at the pub, there'll just be like a general feeling of like wellness.
Yeah.
Just going around the place,
a sense of camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly.
Through this.
Everyone gets through this. It's interesting to think how the country's going to be after this, because like people have come together a lot with the NHS clapping and stuff. It's been good to see. But what everyone's really looking forward to is a big piss up. Afterwards. But yeah, I mean, we've been going for a decent amount of time, boys. Anything more we want to say?
No, I don't think so.
I've had some good little chats about conspiracy theories. Wasn't it David Icke? Was that the
David
guy's
Icke,
name?
yeah.
David Icke, the 5G conspiracy theory. You know, could it all be true?
I mean,
Could it all?
I don't know if that video is still even available anymore because it seems to be getting taken down from everywhere that it was being posted on.
Yeah.
But if people want to read about it, I'm sure there's articles.
There'll be plenty of articles.
About.
I'm sure you've provided a lot of information for us today. So, Cal, anything more?
No, I don't think I've got anything more.
Sweet.
Just
well, I mean,
watch out for the cult and the reptile people.
Yeah, watch out. Yeah, the reptile people. They're all coming for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone's made it this far, thanks for watching, and see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.